Dear YouTube, while the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society may not agree with how I am using their videos, I do not feel any hate towards Watchtower organization, the Jehovah's Witnesses, or those who are in the Jehovah's Witness organization. I am merely a critic of the Watchtower's publications and videos that are online for free at jw.org. We create these videos in order to gain new knowledge and new light and insight on the Watchtower. By doing so, we are in cooperation with the U.S. copyright law. Hey guys, what's up? It's Angela with the Exodus Group, and thank you for joining our page. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share if this information is something that hits you at home. So today we are talking about the persecution complex that Jehovah's Witnesses have, and that Watchtower feeds Jehovah's Witnesses to keep them indoctrinated in the organization. Okay? So, growing up, Jehovah's Witness, I was Jehovah's Witness for about 21 years. Growing up Jehovah's Witness, it was very interesting because for some reason, and this was always weird to me when I was younger, and it made no sense at all. All right? Growing up, it was just really weird because people were always looking forward to the Great Tribulation. They were always saying, hey, it's coming, Great Tribulation's coming, New World's coming, we're going to be persecuted, yay. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. I don't want to be hurt. I don't want to be harmed. I don't want to be killed for something that I believe in. Why would I be looking forward to this? This doesn't make any sense. And they start off at a very early age with this whole, you're going to be persecuted and it's okay. You're going to be bullied and it's okay. Take it for Jehovah routine. Okay, start with school, right? Growing up Jehovah's Witness in school, you don't salute the flag, one. You don't do holidays, birthdays, Christmases, anything fun. And most times you get to go sit in the principal's office when you do that. Now, what's the mindset of when you sit in the principal's office? When you're sitting in the principal's office, you're in trouble. This is not a joyous time. And most time the principal or whoever's sitting there with you is mad because they got to sit with you instead of being at a party with everybody else, right? So you start feeling this guilt and this shame very, very early in age. Then you start getting bullied because the kids are picking on you because you can't eat the cupcake that so-and-so brought for their birthday. Whoop-de-doo, what is a cupcake going to mean? But anyway. And this bullying, you're supposed to take this and be okay with it. So your formative years are just bullied. Bully. Then you go to work. And it's the same thing. Now, maybe you have a little bit more mouth and you can negotiate and go work at your desk or what have you. But it's the same thing. No holidays, no birthdays. You're supposed to witness to everyone. Oh, yeah. And at school, you're supposed to witness to everyone, too. Really? So now I'm the weirdo, but I'm supposed to preach for everybody else to be a weirdo, too? No. No one's going to be a weirdo with me because everybody else wants to do what everybody else is doing. That doesn't make any sense. How's a kid going to sit there and witness to another child to be a weirdo just like me? Oh, and your parents, what? And then when you're at work, you're supposed to be witnessing as well. And as you witness at work, same thing. But again, when you're an adult, you could probably just move to your desk or go somewhere, go for coffee or whatever. But you're still being bullied because people are going to always make sly remarks, make sly comments, joke about it a little bit. And then there's this. The pictures of Watchtower organization where you're constantly shown the Great Tribulation, fear, indoctrination, and oh yeah, the bunker videos. Let's take a look at some of the videos that the Watchtower organization has to show you that you're going to be persecuted because you're supposed to be God's people.
Gog of Magog, a coalition of all the nations, yes, a combination of the king of the north, the king of the south, and all other nations, will make plans to attack God's people. At that time, we will stand out as different and will appear to be defenseless. For this reason, Gog will devise an evil plan in a futile attempt to wipe out pure worship from the earth. But in his rage, Gog will not take into consideration one vital fact. His attack on God's people is an attack on Jehovah himself.
Where are they? Check the basement. Shut that door.
So you're supposed to look forward to persecution because we're special. We're special. So that's the reason why we get persecuted, is because we're God's people. For a little while, I did take this, okay? Was like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And as I grew up, it's like, doesn't make sense. If I am God's person and God loves me, then why would he make me get bullied? That doesn't compute. It doesn't make sense. So we're taught every day in the organization, in the Watchtower organization, that this is normal. This is part of life. And you're going to be okay, and be okay when it's time. Be okay in paradise. Be okay but what about this life? Well, I guess this life doesn't matter, right? No. Okay. So it's okay to be depressed, be anxiety-filled, and what have you, right? No. But for me personally, it translated into a different way. For me, and I didn't realize this until after I left the organization, but I started to feed off of this fear. I began to feed off of this fear and torment because for some reason, my brain was like, hey, fear, 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 do, let's go knock on doors, whatever, blah, 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 and that makes it okay. And what began to happen was, when I left the organization, I didn't have that fear anymore. But again, like I told you before, I was physically in and mentally out. So I was living a lie. I still believed and still judged myself on the things that I was doing wrong, even though I was outside the organization. And so I began to do things subconsciously that created problems for myself. So for me personally, and maybe I'm the only one, let me know in the comments below. Let me know your story. I would begin to do things that made Jehovah prove that he loved me in my eyes. So one of the worst case examples was I would forget to pay rent. I would go spend my money, go blow my money, and say, you know what, if Jehovah loves me, my money will show back up. And sometimes it did. I'm self-employed, so a lot of times I can just go do something and money will show up for me just fine. But those times that it didn't, and those times that I fell, and those times that things got turned off or I got evicted, instead of saying that instead of saying that I didn't pay the bill and it was my fault, because it's never my fault, I would say it was my fault, but Jehovah doesn't love me. But the bill got paid, Jehovah loved me. But the bill did not get paid, Jehovah didn't love me. And it took a while for me to understand that I'm creating this fear because I was so used to creating this sense of urgency within myself so that I could go do the work. And I would use those times where I was blow the money and then come back and do a sense of urgency thing. I would use those times to work harder, and prove to myself that I am deserving and I am worthy. And if I fell on my face or whatever didn't go through, then I wasn't worthy. So in the long run, I ended up creating a whole lot more problems for myself than I needed to. But I will say, this is because of the mindset that I was in, being a Jehovah's Witness. Still being mentally in, I was still judging myself on those things that I didn't know I no longer believed and no longer worked for me. I created more problems for myself than I needed to. So how have you created more problems for yourself? And how can we stop and disconnect from this? For me personally, it took me a long time, and I'm still working on it, but I'm a whole lot better now than where I was, and I'm grateful for that. It takes a while to do this. In the next video, we're going to talk about 5 things that you can do to disconnect from that fear. Disconnect from that fear feeding. Also disconnect from the persecution complex that you may have after leaving Watchtower's organization. I'm Angela Emery. Talk to you soon. Please share, like this video. See you later. You are stronger than you think. You got this.